Hey, welcome to episode number 258 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast, recording on January 12th, 2025. My name is Eric, host of the show, based in Southern Ontario, hunter, target shooter, ham radio operator, and of course, computer geek. As a first responder, witnessed an over-reliance on emergency services during major events, started a small preparedness company to get people better prepared for at least 24 hours, or 72 hours. And yeah, I'm lost.
That's okay.
So define a major event while we're at it then.
Oh, a major event would be like, I don't know, Taylor Swift.
Oh, I knew you were Closet Swifty. Anyway, my name is Ian. My keynote speech at the Lifestar Convention was canceled, so here I am. I am a professional chicken wrangler and a mediocre homesteader. And I'm intern for the podcast.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
I'm Jeff. I'm based in Central Ontario. I'm a target shooter, ham radio operator, general overall handyman, and weather nerd. And no, I am not a vegan. I do not like kale salad.
He thinks thou dost protest too much.
Oh. I'm Brad. I'm in Eastern Ontario, part-time amateur prepper, constantly trying to better myself.
My name is Pierre. I'm a tactical beer owner, base t-shirt merchant, and government critique. And the reason we hit the explicit button, and for some reason, look better in a dress than pants.
Not a picture anybody wants to see.
Exactly.
You should call it guilt, maybe.
Have another beer and we'll talk.
Oh boy.
Gotta shave your legs first.
Exactly.
Buckle up, boys. It's going to be a rough one.
Oh yeah.
So I'm Terry, live in sunny Central Ontario. Official Grand Poobah, the annual Preppers Meet, starving indie author, terrible hunter, pathetic fisherman, and proud foreign owner. The only one in this group, as a matter of fact.
There's a reason. We call ourselves preppers. There's a reason you're the only Ford guy.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Buckle up. I am Pat in the Bunker, farmer, rancher, shooting enthusiast, ATC collector, and all-around outdoorsman, and the official Canadian Prepper Podcast, Token American.
Hail Donald.
Yeah, gotta have one of those all the time. I'm actually deadly curious because I missed a couple episodes. Air traffic controllers? No, what's an ATC?
All-terrain cycle, the original, baby, the three-wheeler.
Oh, the trike. I love those things.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. I have quite a collection.
Me too. Those things were cool.
Nice.
And if you want to help support the show, buy some swag. We have both the Canadian Prepper Podcast t-shirt and the Tactical Velcro patch at www.prepperpodcast.ca. All proceeds help cover our costs.
And if you enjoyed the show, as soon as we get going with it, please take a few minutes and submit a review wherever you found us. We want your feedback, good or bad. We also invite you to reach out and tell us about something you learned this week. You can email us at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca.
All right, so we've got some, I guess, resolution type style content for you this episode. We'll start out with some recent news articles. We'll let you know what we've done for our personal preps, and maybe even tell you what Santa brought us, because why not? And then we're going to get into the main topic. We're doing our New Year's episode.
All right. Palisades fires. I guess they stopped talking about New Jersey drones, and now the topic of the week is California wildfires.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice. You're right. Drones completely dropped off the...
Yep.
They're completely gone. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. They didn't, because the water bombers were trying to go in and put those celebrity house fires, and somebody was flying a drone in there and managed to smuck into one of the water bombers, and so they canceled the water bomber usage, which goes to show that just because you want some good pictures doesn't mean it's a good thing per se. And so, anyways, yeah, got to be careful where you use your drones.
I find it funny that they canceled the water bombers and not the drones.
Yeah.
They should have shot the drone operator.
They had
Kept
to
the water
actually
bombers going.
track down who was flying it around, and because I guess there's a bunch of people trying to get awesome what do you call it, content creator shots and footage for all their stuff for their channel, and of course they're like, yeah, dude, if there's like 15 drones flying around, we can't do this. So, anyways, long story short, I think they're back up in the air now, trying to put out the fires. And,
I don't think that's the contact OnlyFans is looking for.
No, you wouldn't think so.
I mean,
They could say something
And-
on fire, but you know.
And of course, to get into the politics side of it. So the mayor was out of the country attending something in Ghana, and she was asked at an interview about what was going on, and did her cut of $176 million she cut from the fire department budget. And they asked her, do you think this is causing the problem? And she just stood there like a deer in the headlights, wouldn't even answer the question. She just stood there.
Is she Canadian politics?
She must have went to the Justin School of Media Relations.
And of course, everybody's tearing into the fire chief, who is a swinging the wrong way female. You get what I mean? Because she said a while ago her number one priority was DEI. So
so the two people below her are also of the same persuasion. So the chances, like the statistical chances of three lesbians being the top three candidates for and most qualified for the jobs is pretty much zero. But anyway, moving along.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hold on. And that love triangle, who's cooking supper?
I don't know. You think there'd be a fight about that? I would think.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the
so this,
and then of course the last thing is they have all kinds of these water reservoirs, and apparently half of them didn't even have any water in them.
Yeah, because what it was, they're trying to save a fish, and there's a bunch of homeless people in the drainage ditches at the wrong time. So instead of actually diverting it to the reservoirs, they diverted it straight out to the ocean. Even though they had record rainfall for the last year, basically in the LA area, so they had the perfect opportunity to fill those reservoirs, and they did not. And they also did clear any underbrush there. They actually passed a law banning debris clearing in the forests.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Gavin Newsom banned controlled burns and stuff like that because they were, quote, bad for the environment. Well, what the hell does he think is happening now?
But we can also congratulate California for them having legislation for 72 genders. I mean, their fire hydrants are turned off, but they've acknowledged at least 72 genders. So I mean,
there you go. You go.
I mean,
yep. Good for them. Yep.
Yeah. It's really working out for you.
So yeah,
let me know how the non-binary is peeing on the fire to help you out because you turned off the fucking fire hydrant, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Other interesting thing, speed of the fires at the peak, I guess, with the Santa Ana fire or Santa Ana winds, they were saying that it was covering 4 footballs per minute.
Unreal.
Yeah. So
wow.
You just spread not constantly, but at the peak.
Yep.
And so a lot of people were literally unable to even grab a suitcase and go type of thing. But again, if you're in the fire season, kind of got some forecast. Maybe it's a good idea to have something ready to go. But they also, of course, abandoned cars because they ran out of gas, and like Fort McMurray and everything else, just like they left a quarter tank of gas and didn't get very far on the traffic. And boom.
Did they run out of gas? Or did they run out of electricity?
Yeah,
maybe both.
Both.
I was going to say both.
That's up for debate. But it was funny, right? Like just getting on the subject of this, so we know a few people that are in California. One person very close to it was off work for a few days and on standby for evacuation. And we were talking with another person that's just outside that county where it's not really affecting them, but he was, informed them that we're doing this podcast as well as another podcast. And they were like, yeah, I've been doing my due diligence. I've been doing this and that. And he's like, what do you think? And then I started saying, and I was like, you're on the right track. But I was like, you got to worry about water. You got to worry about food. You got to worry about the bare minimum necessities. And you got to, I'm like, it's all good to have 1,000 days worth of food. But I was like, if you don't have anything water related, I was like, you're screwed in no time, all this stuff. And then I'm like, he absolutely loves his dog, which I'm like, I love my dogs. But I was like, if dogs are part of your prep, I was like, what are you feeding them? What are you doing with them? Where do you unfortunately pull the cord on having a dog and all that stuff? And after a 5 to 10 minute conversation with me and Mel, this person was just deprived and didn't want a dog anymore. And it was just look, you're on the right path. But I was like, you have to think your most likely scenario. Is it zombies? Is it Russia invading? Is it North Korea nukes? Where I'm just like, you need to figure all these things out. And yeah, so hopefully they're listening soon, because they said now they were all depressed about everything. And I'm like, I'll give you pointers the best as I can from a Canadian point of view, which is, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, it's just funny that, you know, everybody thinks like, you know, hey, I need a shitload of food. I'm like, can you cook the food? You need water. You live in an urban area and all this stuff. And it was just funny that they were so close to the fires. Thankfully, it didn't affect any of them. Good buddy. But, you know, so many people can get sidetracked on what they think they need to prep for compared to what a realistic scenario, just like we're talking about right now, as a thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Well, you know that I've always said it from day one, that I think water is the long forgotten prep that everybody just kind of assumes they turn on the tap and there's always going to be water. And
yeah,
you're right. You buy, you buy all those freeze dried or dehydrated foods.
Yep.
They're no good if you don't have water to rehydrate them. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even the fact that if you have all your preps in one place, like your house, versus maybe at a bug out location or some secondary location, then if the fire comes along and destroys it in 10 minutes, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good either. So.
Justin, somebody had to say it, eh?
Yeah.
I had to put it in there. You know, meanwhile in Canada, you know, as if we haven't had enough good news. Just for a little comedy for cold January's night, it seems, according to the National Post here, nobody wants to hug Justin anymore. I never did.
No way.
That's a freaking shame.
I'm not his type to hug.
Okay, cute. Hold on. Let's put a disclaimer on that.
I'm too old anyways.
How tight can we hug him?
I know apparently he likes hugging. Probably the girls. I'm thinking it's the girls, but I could be wrong.
Can I hug him from the back? I'm just saying. Right? Like,
oh boy.
If I can hug him from the back.
Well, I heard he likes it that way, so I'm just saying.
I may or may not be wearing pants. That's
There's things we don't want to
hug
know.
him from the back.
There's things we don't need to know.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Thank you, good sir. Allegedly on all.
Allegedly,
everything.
yes.
Yeah, allegedly.
Of course, allegedly.
Yes.
Right.
Has to be
Well,
alleged.
shall we move into what we've done lately for preps? Kick off with Brad.
If we can.
Little bit of fuel rotation. Started some electrical work in the house in the basement, and otherwise lots of work, and that's about it.
Oh, my heart bleeds for you, Brad.
Yeah, shut up.
Electrical work is the funnest work to do in a house. Plumbing sucks. Drywall sucks. Framing's kind of cool. Electrical is by far the absolute funnest.
I have to agree with that, and I have no issues in doing it in my house.
Yes.
Just, safety first, and make sure everybody knows what you're doing and what switches you plan to play with. And
worst comes to worst, if you fail miserably, it tickles till the end.
It's a happy little tickle. But the funny thing is that unlike like drywall is like an art form, painting can be an art form.
Drywall sucks.
Whereas electrical work is like binary, if I can use that term. It either works or it doesn't, right? Like
absolutely.
So
it's very simple. It's what wire does what, connect it properly, bing bang boom, done. It's the simplest of all household repairs. 100%.
And there's an easy way to know if you've done it properly. Just touch the wire to your tongue, and if your tongue explodes, you're good.
Or you have a good friend come over and say, "Hey, do you mind turning on the light for me?" One of the
two steps back and switch. Yep.
Keep a stick to whack him off the switch if you screwed it up. 100%.
Oh, good God.
Moving on, I did a bit of fuel rotation as well, and I did a bunch of food prep, and I'll get into how that's going to be something for the New Year's for me. So,
very nice. For myself, a little bit more reloading completed, and I know this one's going to be shocking for everyone, but got out with the radio for some fun nerd activities. So, lots of content in the logbook. I know, freaking weird, right?
You don't say.
It's never happened before. This is the first time in like 258 episodes.
Is this a New Year's thing?
It's a new year, new me thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like the old Eric to me, but anyway. Yeah, so for myself, okay, so I told you guys the story on the chat there, but yeah, so I had a damaged dog over New Year's. Wife got to practice some good dog first aid, I guess, because he severely lacerated himself on a window, and long story short, he's okay. But yeah, she actually did do part of the surgery herself with her vet friend, so that was kind of interesting and a bit of a prep lesson for animal first aid, honestly, because it's a thing, right? Yeah, so long story short, he's all good. Fuel rotation, same as everybody else. Just I realized that after refusing to go outside in heavy rains and stuff for about 3 months, it's like time to do that. So started that back up. Had a first-hand lesson a couple days ago on GPS spoofing, how it's not always reliable. Actually, I discovered that somebody can turn off your GPS remotely, which is actually very interesting. So that was cool.
But how are they going to get anywhere if they don't have GPS?
Well, that's the story for offline, I think. But you always have other ways to get around. Even if you just kind of use landmarks and everything else. But I bought life straws for the entire family. It turns out I've been told, anyways. No, actually, I did not. However, I did change out the filters of my Berkey. I forgot to mention that over the pre-Christmas break I had, I guess, for lack of a better term, because even the well water has enough minerals in it that it blocks up the filter sooner or later. So I had actually usually just a toothbrush will do it, but actually I tried a toothbrush. I tried like plastic, steel, wool. I tried everything, and nothing was fixing these things. So I think they were just done. So luckily, through rapid survival, I had ordered my last set of Berkey filters, and I used those. So those those things that they like to ban, those single stroke unlimited displacement gas powered piston engines that we tend to collect, had to derust a couple of those. So I've actually been tinkering with electrolysis, like actually using like a 12-volt system to get rust off of certain things to extend their lifespan. So that was pretty interesting. Yes, many CGN deals. I don't even think I made it through 2 days in the new year before I had tracking numbers for stuff inbound, which was pretty cool. I showed one before the show, and it was pretty neat. And but work honestly has had me really busy. Basically, I think for about December, well, I guess technically the 23rd, I went to work for the last time really at home. Didn't get home till 2 days ago, so that was a stretch. But the good news is for Christmas, Santa brought me a bunch of LED supplies. So that's controllers, the actual LEDs themselves, circuit boards, like a couple wall-mounted LED stuff, like everything you can think of for like setting up an LED system, even like a remote controller, the whole works. I'm planning on expanding my use of homemade LED systems this year. So kind of a new hobby / low energy solar friendly prep to do. So I got a bunch of LED stuff for Christmas, which was kind of cool. So I'm just like staring at a pile of stuff in packages that I have no idea what to do with yet. So that'll be my mission, to watch YouTube and get that all sorted out. Because I was telling Eric, I just got my first circuit board here that's programmable for LEDs, but that means I actually have to learn how to program it and everything else. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me.
So pre-warning, this is my distress signal. If you ever hear me say this, it means I'm in trouble and you need some help. I'm so sick of garbage vehicles. I ordered a new Ford pickup.
Right, that's about time.
Yeah,
about time you saw the bloody light.
Yeah, that sounds like a cry for help. I don't know.
That sounds like a cry for help. All right.
Okay, we're sending help to Pierre's place. Got it.
Yeah. So for myself, busted out laser engraver we haven't used in a while, so I've got the rust knocked off for that. Doing some orders, same with the t-shirt, the plotter and the press and all that. Been a little while since we busted that out, other than making silly thing for us, but having to deal with people and say, what do you want, and realizing some of them are annoying and everything, but we got through most of it. Food rotation, fuel rotation. It's getting cold, so nobody wants to swap out gas and fill anything up when it's fucking minus 20 outside. So trying to plan around that, keeping an eye on the weather, saying, do you have enough fuel in personal vehicle, work vehicle, snowblower, all that stuff. Just making sure everything outside is good. Thankfully, barbecue still works, so we still made some steaks the other day, which were delicious. So,
You saved me some, right?
Not if you don't make it here real soon.
I'm on the way.
Okay. Just doing the basics, trying to do the best we can with the weather we have, and being moderate, getting more house renos still done slowly but surely. That's about it for me.
Well, for me, being the romantic fellow that I am, I got my honey a new get home bag for a car. So now we got to work at filling it up with goodies. And then with the government, good old Jase, we cut the GST on beer to keep Canadians happy. So, like being a good Canadian, I stocked up.
Yeah.
Stacked up some more firewood up near the house, so it should have us right through the winter now. And other than that, just misbehaved a little bit.
Nice.
Makes sense to fill up the get home bag if you're driving a Ford, I suppose.
Oh, well, she don't have a Ford. She hasn't seen the light yet.
Okay.
Forgive her for that.
It's good that you want her to make it home, because in my opinion, I was like, I can pay the house off a lot faster if she doesn't make it home. Right?
Well, and technically he did call it a go bag. Like, I mean, I don't want to mean.
Yeah,
I did call it a go bag there.
Yeah, is it a go home
or
go bag?
No, it's a go. It's a bag for her so she can go help him in the Ford.
Okay, there.
Well done, Brad. Well done.
I used the wrong terminology there. Forgive me for that.
He'll get in a lot less trouble using your opinion than all of ours.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. Yeah.
We haven't even made it through this yet, have we?
No.
20 minutes in, we haven't gotten to the main topic yet.
Nope.
All right. Well, how about you guys
Anyway.
shut the fuck up so Pat can finish here? Jesus.
Yeah,
Well,
guys.
all right, everybody. Order in the court. Anyway, just done some putting on some new axe handles on some axes and stuff that really, really needed it. Well, because it broke, so apparently I needed to redo that one. And just sharpening up some tools, axes and shovels and stuff for all the ice and everything I've had to remove off of ponds and stuff like that. So yeah, just kind of going through tools, wood handles, a little bit of linseed oil, and keeping them waterproof so that way they don't crack, split, and blow up in the back end of my pickup when it goes -20. So yeah, other than that, that's about it.
That leads me to my inevitable question: how many watch minutes of Wrangler Star do you have on your YouTube?
Actually, only about 10.
Oh, yeah, he's like
I'm
the tool
I'm
guy.
not. Yeah, he is a big tool guy, but I've had a lot of good gentlemen in my life to ferry me down.
You're officially Tim
of
Allen.
all of the tools. So, hey, I got a lot of good resources right around me. So they've never steered me wrong. So can't complain.
You're officially Tim Allen.
Oh boy, here we go.
Your new name, Kevin the Bunker.
Yep. All right, let's move into the main topic, shall we? And this evening we figured we'd just do our usual New Year's New Prepper theme for the New Year's episode, and just talk about what all the panelists hope to achieve this year, kind of what our thoughts are on moving into 2025, and maybe just some tips for everybody on how they can move into 2025 with preparedness mindset. Go ahead.
Oh, my big goal is to hopefully embrace that there are more than two genders. It's probably gonna fail. Don't get me wrong, but
You're just leave that one alone.
let's try and get more.
You gotta cut him some slack. He does have a man bun, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck off! It's down right now. There's no hair elastic. All right, it's all down right now.
And it's a big step because I mean, for the apocalypse, zombies only have one gender, right? Like they've never said male zombie or female zombie. They always just say zombie, right? So this is a big step for Pierre, like to go from one.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that is a good point. Yeah.
It also
He is
makes-
embracing the inner Pierre.
Yeah. It also lets me
Correctly.
allow who the fuck doesn't have a brain so that when I get a zombie, who to chase and not chase so that I can eat their brain.
Right.
That's a double-edged sword right there, my friend.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have enough brains, then they won't chase you. But if you got enough brains, then you're going to get chased. So you either feel bad or you're going to get your brains eaten.
Exactly. It's just being effective with understanding that there's more genders. I don't know. It sounds weird saying it. I'm not going to say it again.
Yeah.
Move to Ottawa. You'll be safe there.
Yep. You'll be fine there. Yeah.
No thanks.
Oh,
No.
jeez.
Shouldn't have let me in the room. I'm just saying.
Almost didn't.
I know you guys are ready to
Yeah.
go, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
We can always pick
Yeah.
you up.
Going to say, yeah, what the fuck right there? Don't do it.
Oh man.
All right. Sorry, I'll do my best for
Well,
the rest of the show.
Swinging back in the topic.
Okay.
Just one of the good things with New Year's that everybody seems like to jump on is into New Year's resolutions, right? And building up that motivation to do things, build new habits, reflecting on things that you kind of maybe didn't get done in the past year. And that can kind of kick you off into the whole preparedness thing or help you get into some areas that you maybe didn't or haven't been able to. Just moving on that motivation, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, is maybe you say you're going to do it and then a month from now realize you haven't and you just fall back into those old habits. I think we're all guilty of doing that at 1 year or two in the past. But
well, I think also that with the seasonal, I guess, light levels and everything else, people tend to get more hibernation minded and everything else. So I think it's actually traditionally a good thing to try and like restart the motivation factor, because it's almost like you're in a circadian low for the whole season or something. And so
that's a good point.
What's that? That seasonal affective disorder, is that what they call it?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
a
what
thing.
Sad.
yeah.
Really
And
good-
Go ahead, Bjorn.
Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think it takes some real gut checks there to try and like reflect on what didn't work too, right? Because you might have wanted, put an honest effort in to do something like, learn new genders or not swear, and then, but hey, things just don't work, right? So I mean, like, you are who you are. But no, I mean, it's just like, no, I think it's seriously, you got to look back and see what didn't work, and that takes a lot of self reflection to do that. So it's a good time to do it.
Yeah. And I was saying, this is the nice time where people start getting into crafts, doing something, because for most of Canada, it's cold as hell outside. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to go outside, like let the dogs out and like close the door and wait for them to like do their stuff and come back in. So it's really easy to say, I want to pick up a nice task, or I want to pick up on something, or I want to learn something new, whether it's crocheting, canning, prepping food, anything like that, doing your weekly preps of food or whatever, because none of it involves like a really nice day outside. So it's very easy for people to be like, I'm going to do this. And then the second it starts getting nice outside, they're like, well, I don't want to be inside crocheting. Even sitting by the fire is not that, because, I can't do my margarita. My friends don't want to come over and all that stuff. So I'm like, it's very easy for people to put very dedicated things they want to do or things they want to learn this time of year, because it's so cold and nobody wants to be outside, compared to 3 months from now where I'm
no, stop that. Nobody wants to be outside. There are people like me, whether you like it or not, who actually embrace winter and like winter and like to be out in the snow. So let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's always got to be that one weird guy.
Yeah.
That's why I said most.
I can accept my inner being. I'm good.
There's two of us.
I didn't say all. I said most, right? Like,
no, you said all.
That's right.
At time, I like
I've
to
had
be
a
out.
few to drink.
I'm kidding. I'm just
And our feelings are hurt.
I
just
100%
making your life
agree, right?
miserable, Pierre, because I can.
Yeah, I even took my man bun out for you, and you're still treating me like this.
You do have a valid point, though. Right now, the weather is not the most favorable for for most people, unlike Jeff, who don't want to be out in the freezing cold. Snowmobilers are just a special type, I suppose.
Yeah.
Used to be there till I blew my sled up.
I am a special breed, and I'll admit it.
At least you blew it up. If you had
but it's
it made it there to blow up.
True. But so it is a good time of year to start. If you're already inside, and like we were saying, the even just the daylight a lot less, and there's not much else to do. Yeah, going back over your preps and figuring things out, and kind of planning out what you want to do for when that nice weather does cycle back around. It's probably something good to do about this time of year. And like we said, you've already got the whole motivation built up for rah, it's a new year, let's go. So got at least another couple of weeks before everybody falls off the wagon for that, at least.
Mm-hmm. I always figure it's a good time of year to go out and practice your fire starting skills in the snow.
That's a good point.
I like going out in the bush and taking some hot dogs and getting a fire going and cook them over the fire, and snowshoe or ski, whatever turns your crank. But that's always fun to do.
To get the fire going.
Challenge.
Motivation to get the fire going too, because without it, you're gonna be cold.
Either that, or you're gonna have armpit hot dogs. And
at the end of the day, it's winter, and you either embrace it, like Terry said, you try to make the best of it. You get out, you do stuff, or you hibernate for 4 months. It's your choice.
Yeah. I like to play in the snow.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. And finding that balance between the two even is key. Right?
Because you never know. Shit could happen in the winter. Yeah. Somebody wrote a book on that. Saying. And then it's a little extra challenging. It's a little extra challenging in the winter when it's cold.
Especially in a walk somewhere.
Just a wee bit.
For sure.
So to roll back on the topic a bit is, as Eric said, it's time to reflect on lessons you learned from the previous year. And the other thing is, try to stay on your track. A lot of I've got a couple of friends and they go to gyms and they work out, and they say January and February, you can't find a spot in the gym. It's fully packed. Come March, the building's empty.
Yep.
So you just need to keep, if you get into something, especially, the prepping side of it or whatever, don't lose your motivation. Don't think that, I did this for a couple of months, I'm fine. It's an all year thing. You don't have to rush into it all at once. Begin with the small steps, the easy steps, the stuff that, because you can go down a big rabbit hole with prepping, but just, the old KISS expression, just keep it simple. The things that you need, and evaluate your stuff. And it's more of the, don't get into the, everybody kind of jumps in the big, I want this and I want that. It's not the want, it's the need. What do I need to get me through? The want is nice, but you don't have to have it. You have to have the need. If the need's not there, the wants don't mean anything.
And like Mel just 100%. Put in the chat, make life as lazy as you are. If it's food prep, laundry, cleaning house, whatever, however you can figure out how to make that as flawless as possible. If you just want to keep a tidier house, you want to be more due diligent on making your own meals at home compared to eating takeout. Be more due diligent on, not taking 20 days to put from the washer to the dryer to folded to in your actual thing. Like, what's your habits around the house? I'm not saying, how you do anything at your house is different than mine. Obviously it's going to be different, but like, how lazy can you make the process to make it more efficient for your own self will change your whole world.
Justin in the live chat actually nails it. We have goals, not resolutions.
Exactly.
100%.
That is absolutely as on target as you can be.
Yeah.
Pierre, can you make a sticker that says that?
What?
We have goals, not resolutions.
Probably.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk another time. Now's not the best. Just saying.
I think and the best time, especially for me, wants to get all the end of the year stuff done. You know, harvest is in, the cows are back home, you know, whatever. And you've got all that paperwork, taxes and everything's done for the year. And you can finally get all that flushed out of your head and just start over new. And, you know, I'm kind of in a weird time right now where I'm not calving or anything like that. And just feeding some cows and getting ready to sell calves and stuff like that. So I've got some time where I can physically sit down and go through bags and go through tools, go through all my batteries and just, you know, that stuff that I've been neglecting for the last month and a half because it's been so dang busy, you know, and life gets in the road. I mean, not everybody's going to stay on task depending on seasons and everything, what your job is and everything. Sometimes it's hard, different parts of the year. So it's nice when it's actually nice when it gets cold out where you can actually be inside and be like, huh, did I look at this? Did I check that? Did I do this? So, you know, it's, you know,
But
that's kind of.
Aren't you American where you can have AR-15s and not have to pay taxes?
Yep.
Is that still a thing?
Oh, no. Well, you're half right. But we still have to pay taxes, but we do have the AR-15s.
Now I'm sad.
You know, Dave in the live chat, another great comment. There's a reason your windshield is larger than your rearview mirror. Keep looking forward. What happened in the past has happened. You can't change it. You can't go back and do it again. Your windshield is larger than your rearview mirror.
It's true.
Unless you look over your shoulder. Then they're about the same size.
Yeah.
That's usually where most of the blind spots are at.
Well, if I look over my shoulder, I'm not seeing my rear view mirror, but you know, wherever you put your rear view mirror is up to you, I suppose.
I guess that becomes your windshield.
I guess so.
Yep.
Winter's a good time to do your administrative kind of preps, like getting your paperwork in order and things that are inside the house. You know, if you don't want to, if you're not an outdoors coldy person, then get your indoor stuff done. Get your food sorted out and itemized and categorized, and
you
stock
could
up
try
on that stuff.
You could try growing fucking cabbage and carrots right now.
It's always a challenge.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy. So
it's not going to be easy.
Put that on the back burner, and like you just said, you know, that administrative. Hey, what worked out in our garden last year? What didn't? What did we not eat much of, or what do we want more of in our garden? You know, this is the time to start planning those things out. Even though we're 2.5, 3, 4 months away from, you know, planting seeds and, you know, being able to do anything. You know, if you grew squash and it's, I don't know, you threw it in at the road or in the compost or whatever. Well, maybe don't grow squash this year. But what did you eat? And be like, man, I didn't have enough of that. Yeah, I didn't have enough tomatoes because I wanted to make salsa and I wanted to make more salads and this and that. Start swapping out whatever you grew in your garden and make it, you know, more feasible for yourself. Whether it just lasts you the summer or you can figure out how to make it last the summer and the winter. If you can just cut out the grocery store in the summer, it's a step in the right direction.
And like you said, Pierre, like it's 4 months away, but you know what? You're gonna wake up one day and those 4 months are gone.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wake up and all of a sudden the snow's gone, spring's happening, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not ready yet. Well, you've had 4 months to get ready, right? So
that's a good point.
You know,
yeah. Well, and I'll kind of dovetail off of what Pierre said. What's still sitting on the shelf from when you packed up for winter?
Yep.
And now it's spring. What's still sitting there? What didn't you eat? What didn't you like?
Yeah.
There you go. That's that. Yeah. What are you missing? Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I grew
Sorry,
5
Jeff.
cabbage plants. No, but I grew 5 cabbage plants and I still have 3 of them sitting on the shelf. Well, okay, let's cut my 5 into 3. So I've got 1 backup, but I haven't had fresh carrots or canned carrots in the last month and a half. So I'm going to take those 2 plants I'm going to put more of this and more of that. And yeah, whatever you can, because like we're getting to the point where I go to the grocery store now and I buy a few things. And before I swipe my card, I'm like, God, what the fuck you mean it's this much? Right? Everybody's feeling that. I don't care where you live. Everybody's feeling that, right? You go to the grocery store and you buy your lettuce, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary of a regular diet, and you get to the cash and you're like, how is this $300? Can I take $60 off that every paycheck, especially on the off seasons, right? This time of year for Canadians, lettuce isn't grown, it's imported. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all those things are all from somewhere else. So, right, there's a cost associated with that. But can I figure out how to grow a bunch of that during the nice season and put it in a bin with a bunch of sand and keep it in my basement that's sort of cold storage and everything, where, I can cut off, let's say, $30 to $40 off every grocery run. That will go a long way nowadays for anything.
Good point.
This is also the time of year you get all your seed catalogs come out too.
Yep.
It's always a fun pastime.
We'll be on in a month for gardening stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sit around the fire and on a cold day and plan out your garden with your seed catalog and get your order in, and that's always a fun thing to do. Always love doing that this time of year.
Yep.
And it gets you thinking about spring.
Yeah. And only thing that's better than that is figuring out how to get your own seeds from all your own products.
Well, which is even better. Yes.
Yeah. It's a timely process. It's fairly complicated, but hey, grow something and try and make seeds for the following. Keep buying. But if you can grow your own carrots, tomatoes, potatoes, jalapenos, all those things that you want to eat from your own seeds out of plants you've done, you do that one season, you'll have seeds for years.
Yeah. And in the live chat, a new listener, as far as I know, I haven't heard them before, Operation Garden. We canned 100% of our own ketchup for the end of 2024 through 2025. Big cost saving, especially if you have kids that love ketchup.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Good one.
Yep. Very valid point.
Awesome.
Ketchup is soup to them.
Well, add a little water, and it certainly is.
They have it on toast. They don't even put butter. They put ketchup, right? Like,
oh my
but
goodness.
Ketchup goes in everything in this house.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Eric, you have small kids. You know what that's about, right?
Yeah.
Every day. Ketchup on everything.
They would eat a bowl of ketchup just by itself.
Just warm it up, and they think it's like the best stew in the world.
Don't even have to warm it up. Yeah.
It's cold stew, right? Like they're just right. So like just doing that, I'm like, take a cost association, how much ketchup costs and everything.
It's great.
Gardening doesn't cost so much. It gets you outside. Yeah, you're doing it yourself. There's not as many preservatives. You can control the amount of sugar that goes in it, the amount of all the other words you can't say anything. Yep. Yeah, you just smash up potatoes or tomatoes. Sorry, I got confused there. I was thinking shepherd's pie. But you can make your own ketchup for pennies on the dollar. Yes, it takes some labor. Go outside, tend to all the garden and everything. But I'm like, you control so many less preservatives, less sugar, less amount.
I was just about to say that, Peter, that you have the control of what's in that product and you know what it is. And, I mean, you read a label on some of the food cans and there's 25 items and I don't even know what they are. You don't know what you're eating. So
even if you can figure out how to do it and break even, you're way better off, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, I don't make my own ketchup and everything, but it's a thing I'm hopefully gonna work on this year, right? Like get the gardens going and this and that. Like I can talk up a storm on this podcast, as many people have heard about like fantastic ideas, and I am the worst procrastinator and the worst person to fucking actually say I'm doing it.
I will confirm that.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
ideas to tell people is the fuck piece of cake. For me to actually do them are the worst, and that's a big thing I want to try and work on this year.
Is
I'm
that a
not saying it's
goal of
gonna-
yours, Pat? Or Pierre?
It's a thing I'm mentioning now. We'll talk in a few months, right? But
Sure.
I have
My goal too.
yeah.
Okay.
I like everybody on this panel, including 90% of the listeners that have listened to us. Like, I have fantastic ideas for almost everything we've said, and like, you know, winter preps. Like, hey, make sure your snowblower is going. I still haven't tried to start my fucking snowblower. It's sitting in a snowbank, and I'm like, if we get fucking 20 inches tomorrow, I fucking really hope that bitch starts, right? So like, I've got good ideas.
You didn't learn your lesson from last year, did you?
No, I didn't, apparently, right? Like, so that's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, everybody is fantastic as sitting in your area, you know, with a drink, some water, and some good friends saying, you need to do this. I am probably one of the worst on the panel for saying I have executed anything I have said on this podcast. So that's the thing I want to work towards this year is just baby steps towards being a little more diligent on everything I have fantastic ideas on. But most of the time I'm drinking, so I wake up in the morning and I don't remember, so it's not my fault. It's you guys' fault. You didn't remind me.
Well, hopefully, but this time next year we'll have a T-shirt on you that says "the closer" or something
Yeah.
like that. You know, where
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bro, I can have that ready for next week. Just saying.
Really?
And we
Perfect.
talk about small stuff, and you don't need big stuff. Again, Operation Garden, awesome comment. We're planning on being 85% self-sufficient with 3/4 of an acre.
That's good.
Don't have to
It's
have
awesome.
a 100-acre farm to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. No, you don't. That's
True.
good.
And self-sufficient is up for debate on how much you have. It like I don't eat squash. Why the fuck am I gonna grow half an acre of squash? I don't fucking eat it. What
For
do you
your
eat?
poor starving neighbors.
No, you
We-
grow
What
what you
about
we
the
have-
zombies?
we-
Come on,
no,
yeah,
Pierre.
we're gonna eat the
Zombies
neighbor.
have
aren't
to
you?
eat too.
Yeah. Right. That's
You
how
gotta
that
keep 'em
works. Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
You just need
Yeah.
to figure out which neighbor's vegan. That's the closest thing to grass-fed when the zombie hits.
Very good. Very good.
Right? But if you don't eat squash, you don't eat pumpkin, you don't eat a bunch of stuff that does take quite a bit of acreage or square footage, let's say, right? Pumpkin is not a small tomato plant where you can get 20 tomatoes off of it. Like, it takes a lot. If you have no use for it, why are you gonna grow it?
That's right. You got to plan it.
Grow
what
and
you eat.
plan for whatever you're gonna eat, whatever you're gonna consume, and whatever you're not gonna get sick of. You can live off potatoes, onions, and meat of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna suck. Potatoes,
You'll
onions,
survive.
and
No,
meat,
it's not.
you will survive. Eat it for 65 days straight. Let me know. Like, no other thing.
You'll
No
get
chocolate.
tired
no
of it
milk, no-
eventually. Yeah.
You won't get tired of it, right? But
Unless you're
you
Pat,
can-
apparently.
you can
And again-
survive off it. Your body will survive off those
Yeah.
minerals, the nutrients, and everything, right? So take into
So again-
consideration that.
So again, Operation Garden, you need to come on. You need to be part of our group when we do the garden thing with Melissa.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
need to be here.
Mhm.
Pick
I'm
one
just
thing at a
making
time
of
to
putting that
focus
out
on
there.
every year. Be an expert on that.
Yep.
Don't do everything at once. And we keep saying that to
100%.
people. Don't overwhelm yourself, because when you get overwhelmed, you're going to walk away. And we don't
Yeah.
want you walking away. We want you to. So, and kind of trying to get back sort of to the topic if we can a little bit, have a 72-hour kit, have some non-perishable food, some water, first aid supplies, that kinds of stuff. And be prepared, as Eric says, 72 hours or more in an emergency situation. So
Yeah. But speaking of first aid that Jeff just brought up, this time of year when the days are short and the nights are long, Now's the time to take your first aid course. Now's the time to take
Right.
different courses that you might want to take, like the radio course or other courses when you're not wanting to get out and about as much. But that's a good time to do it. That doesn't cut into your summer warm weather activities.
And I will
Good
add
point.
to that and say many companies will pay to have a certain amount of people first aid qualified.
Yeah.
So you can get your
Full advantage
certificate
of that.
and get paid for it. So
Yeah, if you
I
can get
just
it
had
on
to
at work,
do-
get it on.
yeah, I just had to do my recertification. So it's an 8-hour course. The place was an hour away from my house. I am very lucky where I get paid door to door. So that was a 10-hour day. And I sat there, and the person that was teaching the course, because I was there for recertification questions, that I ended up supervising half the class for him because it was the partial one where you did a bunch of stuff online and then you came in for the 1-day course compared to a 2-day course. So I'm like, I literally got paid for it. Where I'm like, at every work, I don't know a single person or company that will say you take this course, on your own dime, on your own time, so that we can benefit for it. Almost everywhere will pay for the course, pay your wage for that time. So if it's something you're interested in, 100% jump on it. And the only other thing I will say about anything first aid, adding first aid supplies to either your car, vehicle, work vehicle, anything that is temperature regulated, or at least outside to the end, the temperatures, anything that could be affected by temperatures. If you got coagulated gauze, those icy hot wraps, anything that is soaked in any kind of juice, whether antibacterial or anything like that, you do need to worry that if it's -20 outside, it's probably going to freeze. And when you need it, you don't have time to stick it in your armpit or stick it on the dash for 20 minutes.
Nope, it's too late.
So yeah, so Band-Aids, rolls of gauze, all that stuff. Yeah, 100% keep in your vehicle, but maybe have a fanny pack even, just those temperature regulated things that could really affect something. Keep them inside your house and just, make a habit of taking it from your house to your vehicle so that, when a scenario happens like that, you're not, dependent on, is it unthawed yet?
And kind of back a bit on topic, 2 other things, especially if you're new and starting out and you kind of got a New Year's thing and you want to do this, connect with like-minded people. Believe it or not, there's more preppers out there than you think there is. A lot of them don't want to publicize it. They don't want to, kind of draw attention to themselves, should I say, or whatever, but pay attention. You never know, you catch 2 people in a conversation and they start talking about prepping, walk over and talk to them. You'd be surprised. There's a lot more of us out there, and us, when I say us, I'm talking our like-minded people.
Yeah.
Things that we kind of all agree on. There's more of us out there than a lot of people think there is.
Yeah, and you'll find those in just your everyday conversations where you hang out. Local coffee place, you go for a break. Your place, you pick up coffee and spend 10 minutes, and there's always those same people that are up at anything before 9 o'clock in the morning, probably going to be like-minded in some sort of scenario where you can probably have a conversation without indulging too much information. Make small talk and drop subtle hints. You can find those people. Local gun range, local places you hang out at night, even late at night, you will find preppers that are up till 3 o'clock in the morning. We don't only get up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Just your everyday routines, you can find a lot of like-minded people, like Jeff was just saying. If you're part of a gun club, you're going to find some weird floods. But the odds are, if they're under 55, they're probably going to be a lot more like-minded than you think, even no matter how they present themselves.
Just make sure their name is Ian.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's probably send me your email. I'll send you a CGN deal. If it's
If
that
the
guy
name
that
is
comes
Ian,
up,
make sure they give them some life straws.
Yeah, well, it helped.
And to be fair, I mean, yeah, like it clearly also your personal habits are going to dictate finding like-minded people. Like you're not going to find preppers
Yeah.
in the local meth den, but your chances are even at the local ham radio club, you're probably going to find some like-minded people. At least you're going to
almost guaranteed.
Well, there's going to be a Venn diagram overlap between your interests and theirs at least a little bit. So,
right.
And no knowledge is wasted, right? So
those habits that
Yeah,
benefit
you know,
prepping.
it's you say that, it's funny, where I met a whole bunch of, through conversation and through kind of talking, as funny as this sounds, a farmer's market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those
Yeah,
people
not
are
surprised.
going out there, they're looking for that produce. They're looking for, most of them are not your regular people who want to go to a grocery store. They're more like-minded than you think they are.
They're out there looking for the canning supplies that are perfect.
Right.
or at least the non-GMO stuff and whatever. 'cause
Yeah.
they know
Yeah, the
food is
organic
trash,
stuff
so-
and
yeah.
alternate means, and having the locals in your community so you can touch bases with them should shit
Yep.
hit the fan.
Yep.
It's good to know your local farmers. Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like
Exactly.
it's a sad thing to say, and I'm noticing it, that we need to be more supportive of our local stuff, our local farmers, our local produce people, our local. Stop going to Costco. Stop going to all these big chain stores and lining somebody's pocket. Help your neighbor.
Yeah.
Help out your neighbor who, you know, you go to him and maybe you're going to pay a little bit more to get a quality. I'm thinking, so for me, a beef product, go to a farmer and get fresh beef or fresh.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
might pay a bit more, but you're
Yeah.
getting something clean. You're getting something, and you're supporting your community instead of throwing money into Costco's CEO's back pocket.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
And I'll dovetail off of that. We do that for family. I feed out my own cattle and take it to the local butcher, and we do that for cousins, aunts, uncles, friends. You know, I might have as many as 5 or 6 in the lot where I'm feeding them. You know, I've got a ration that I feed them that fills them out really nice, got good marbling on them, and boom, you've got a lot cleaner product
Yep.
than what something is going to be coming out of a feed yard or going through a processing plant like Tyson or, you know, name the big 3, you know, basically. And, it's a lot cleaner stuff because, you know, it's coming from gardens, from farmers markets and stuff. Even if, I'll kind of go back to what everybody was saying on the gardening and everything, even if you don't necessarily eat that product, you take that to the farmer's market, put that up at the farmer's market, and get rid of it that way.
Somebody will
too.
buy it.
So, because you know, there's a lot of people that eat a lot of different things. So, if it's easy to grow, but you don't like it, and you can take it to the farmer's market, why not?
Right. And there's a big thing with everybody on this panel is 100% in support of local, right? We've taken a business adventure, you know, cooking at a restaurant where the person is very big on supporting local, trying the most organic foods, the most least processed and everything, which is fantastic. But all of that does come with a dollar factor. And in the economy nowadays, let's all be honest, right? If you can save $20 on groceries, it's a lot easier to say, but I saved 20. And it's trying to figure out how to make those cost-effective choices where I will support someone local, right? I'd love to support. So our daughter is good friends with someone. They hold a full organic farm. We've had many other products. Best cherry tomatoes you've ever had. The chives they've gotten are like crazy. I've never seen anything so big. Fantastic products, but it all comes with the cost association, right? I can go to Costco, I can go to the local place, and I can get it for $2-3 cheaper for every product. And with how the economy is, right? Sometimes that's a deciding factor. And deciding to support local, not supporting that Costco or that big brand, where it's just like, you know, where can you make those budget cuts where you can make, not necessarily, you know, cut out Costco, but where can I take, you know, $60 for my groceries that I already spend $200 at Costco, right? How can I give them 160 or 140, and I can take 40 and $60 and go to local businesses and help support them to get, yes, better quality, maybe less quantity, but it's trying to make that balance as well. That is very hard for every prepper out there, every person that is, you know, not living the high life that they've got personal chefs. Like it's hard. Trust me. I'm 100% in support of small businesses, local people. I work somewhere that the person is very hard on that. And I'm very thankful that the person is like, I'm willing to lose $1 of profit and still make, you know, 50 cents in support of this compared to trying to make it, you know, unaffordable for everybody. So it's like, you know, it's a
fine balance.
It's a
fine
hard.
balance. Here, you're 100% right. You're
It's a
absolutely
hard
100%
balance.
right. I've always, my dad instilled this in me, and I've always been the mindset of, I don't mind paying a little bit more for something that is good quality.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that. And nowadays, especially more nowadays, yeah, you can get the cheap crap at Costco, but what's in it? Really, what's in it? And that for me, I would rather pay that extra little bit, Pierre, to know what I'm getting and to have something that's quality. I'm fine with that. A lot of people aren't. I'm with and that's for them. I don't mind paying it.
Yeah, and it also comes to the point where it's just like, hey, I got 3 kids to feed, and they eat 4 pounds of blueberries a week. Do I want to support the local blueberry place, you know, at $14 a pound, or do I go to Costco and I buy them at $6 a pound, right? Like, if your kids are going to munch on it, like, you know, it's that hard balance where I'm like, I've been instilled the same way, right? Like, do the best you can for whatever. And it's trying to figure out where that really nice comfort between the two, where I'm like, you're probably still going to have to use the grocery store, but to the best you can, you know, if, you know, tomato sandwiches are your thing, right? You like a tomato sandwich every day on some nice bread. Okay, we'll try and find someone local that makes bread that's not, you know, the white bread, Wonder Bread, right? Try and find someone that you can mitigate how many and you can figure whatever out. It's going to cost you more. Find someone that grows local tomatoes or figure out how to do it yourself. Figure out how to make sourdough. You know, there's so many factors where I'm like, trust me, I would love to cut out Costco, but I can't grow the amount of asparagus we enjoy eating.
And
so I'll do the best I can, you know?
I find, and not everybody can do it. And I understand that.
Yeah.
Everybody's life is busy. You're chasing kids, you're chasing a job, you're chasing everything. But you know what? Pick your own farms.
Yep.
These are okay because you're doing the work. So take an hour and go and pick your own. Pick your strawberries, or pick your asparagus, or pick your you're getting outside. You're getting that natural vitamin D. You're getting you know, the sunshine and all of that stuff, and you're getting a good quality product. So
and
there's always that balance, right?
Yeah, and there's going to be
another bonus to getting out to the farmers markets is you've got all those local experts now, right? So you get to know them, you get talking to them. Eventually, you can build up that rapport with them, and they can start teaching you things, right? So you can start learning how they make whatever it is that they make. You can start learning how they cultivate whatever it is that you're purchasing from them, and what works well, because they're going to be in your general area to begin with. So it's going to work in the area you're in. So even just being able to learn from those folks after, you know, it's going to take some time to build that rapport up, but you've got some local experts you can speak to as well, right?
let's just say
100%. Yep.
you take a whole summer, you love tomatoes, carrots, and onions, and you go to the same farmer's market, and the guy's always got fantastic carrots, potatoes, and onions, and you start building that rapport where you buy it, yes, at $2 more than what Costco does it, but you can start asking them, like, hey, how do you do this? 90% of people at farmers markets will give you all the fucking tips and tricks that they got.
Oh, yeah.
Because
they'll talk to you, no problem.
Yeah, they'll talk to you. So, you know, you take that cost association. It's like, okay, well, do I keep going to Costco for those things and I spend, you know, $40, or do I go here to buy these things and, you know, I spend $50? But after a summer of doing whatever, the following year, that becomes a $3 a week expense because they've, I don't want to say told you all the secrets, but they've informed you without the trial and error, how to do this, how to do that, what to watch out for. Now, all of a sudden, you're not there, but now you can go back and buy other supplies. And they're like, hey, you're not buying all these things. And it's like, all the info you told me was fantastic. They will most likely spill the beans if they're an authentic, you know, farmers market people that just want to cut out. They would rather not make money and cut out, you know, Walmart, home, Costco, independent, and all that stuff, and people just grow shit in their backyard than anything else at those fucking places. So
and Melissa says it in the live chat here that you grow your own. It tastes so much better. I buy my eggs from a neighbor who has chickens. Yeah, I pay $5.50 a dozen. I could go to the store and pay $3.50, but I'm telling you, there is a massive difference in the taste.
Yeah,
they taste so much better. They're
filling. You have 2 of those eggs is the same as 3, if not 4, at the store.
Yep.
Right? Like, yeah, there's a giant difference, right? Like, so our daughter is big friends with one of their daughters, and they own fully licensed organic farm, and they've got eggs. And almost every time we go there, do you guys want eggs? You guys want eggs? And we were like, how much? They're like, don't worry about it. And we feel bad taking the eggs, but at the same time, I am so ecstatic because those eggs taste so much better than anywhere else you buy them.
And the other thing is that people may not understand, and you can Google it, you can look at it. It's called glassing eggs. You take natural eggs, you can put them in a it's a pickling lime combination. I'm not 100% sure of it. You'd have to Google it and
oil.
But
no,
you can store those eggs without refrigeration for months.
Yeah,
months.
So
the stuff you buy in the store, it's been cleaned, it's been processed, it's been whatever.
Excuse me.
You got to eat it in that time frame. It goes bad.
Yeah.
This stuff doesn't go bad, and it'll taste as good 3 months from now as it did the day you put it in the jar.
And buying eggs that you buy from a farmer that's still got, you know, chicken poop on it and all that stuff, and it's like, I want to make an omelet with 4 eggs. Take the 4 eggs that's covered in chicken shit and hay and whatever they got, rinse them off, wash your hands, crack them, throw them in the pan. They're going to taste 1,000 times better than the clean ones in the fridge that you buy anywhere else. But yeah, glassing them, they'll last even longer. Like what I want to say, I think it's like close to 6 months. If you literally take a chicken egg from the coop and put it in a thing and put it on your counter, it's good for months compared to weeks that you buy anywhere else. And
because what people don't understand, I buy it from the farmer. I'm getting it the day after it's hatched. Whether people like it or not, if you're buying eggs in a store, they're probably already 2 or 3 weeks old before you even buy them.
Yeah.
I certainly hope the eggs you're buying are not hatching, Jeff.
Well, you never know.
Fried chicken for breakfast is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on the time. I see we're getting up to an hour here. So any final comments or thoughts from panelists before we move into the podcast challenge?
I guess from me is, and I've said it before, start small. You can go down a huge rabbit hole. people have said in the live chat, I keep saying it. I love the KISS theory. Just keep it simple. You will be amazed how it progresses from there. But it's so easy to get overwhelmed, and there's way too much information out there. And sometimes that information is good, sometimes it's not. And you got to be careful where and how you get your information. And we all know here, we don't pawn stuff, we don't sell stuff, we don't tell people the world's going to end and you got to buy our stuff and all that kind of crap that goes on. Just and if you have a question or you're not sure about something, reach out, ask somebody. You know what? Throw us a question. We'll answer it as honestly as we can. Just
chances are we'll do an episode.
And if we can't, we probably know someone that can.
Yep.
We might not be the product expert, but we know 4 or 5 people that can help us out with house repairs, carpentry, homesteading, canning, all the subjects you can think of. We probably know someone somewhere that can at least point us in the right direction or give us information and be like, that's all we got. Like, worst comes to worst, we'll get in contact with someone else. But like, the community is huge. Don't be shy.
Yep. And again, Operation Garden, I'm telling you, you have got to come on. Says the same thing. You can overwhelm yourself super fast. Focus on 1 or 2 things. The best piece of advice they can give. 100%. It is so easy to just have everything thrown at you and just get overwhelmed and say, I'm done. I can't take this, and walk away. And that's the worst thing you can do. Concentrate on 1 or 2 things. If you do that, you're 95% better than the rest of the population.
Got it.
Yep. So agreed.
Right. With that, shall we move into the podcast challenge?
All right, under the guise of New Prepper, New You, let's make this one, this year, should I say, the one where you actually stick to your resolution. So let us know what you did to avoid the trap you usually fall into.
Awesome.
And I will say what somebody said in the live chat. It's not a resolution. It's a goal.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Because you feel less bad when you fail at goals compared to resolutions.
Or just be a closer. How's that?
All right, upcoming events.
Okay. Now mark on your calendar, July 7th to the 13th. We're having Preppers Week this year for the annual Preppers Meet for 2025. Once again at the Slovenian Hunters and Anglers Club and just outside of beautiful downtown Allison, Ontario. It's going to be great, to quote the Donald. So plan on being there. And we're hoping to have a preliminary flyer out with the main events by the end of January. So we'll be able to put that up for everybody to see. Until then, check out our Facebook group. If I put the link on there, if you're a Facebook person. If not, the website's still under construction, so you're not going to find much there. So you just have to listen to me babble on. But come. Even Pat
It's always
can
a
come.
fantastic time.
We'll welcome them up
It's a
here.
great time.
We'll look after them.
And the venue is just fantastic. You can't say anything bad about the
100%.
venue and the people. It's
Great place. Great place.
Hey, Jeff, you got a weather blurb.
Yeah, I'm just going to be brief. I've been really busy the last few days, but it looks like winter is here and it's going to stay. We're going to be in for another very cold shot of air next week all over the central U.S. As far south as central Texas. You expected to see colder than normal temperatures. You've had them before. You've had the storms. You're going to continue to get them. The Central Plains, the East Coast, guys are trending towards a bit above average precipitation. Not saying you're going to get a nor'easter. You never know. You got to be prepared. This time of year, the weather, especially, in the area that I live, we have lake effect snow. You can go to bed and you wake up and there's 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. So, and it's very localized and it's very, just keep your ear to the ground and Pay attention to what's going on so you don't get trapped and you don't get caught.
Awesome. And deal of the week.
All right, I guess in their mad rush to go from Cabela's to Bass Pro, which means they're shunning shooting and going back into fishing, Cabela's is blowing out their SKS ammo. So it's currently
Can't shoot fish.
I guess not here anyway.
Allegedly.
$130 off the case, which is 1,440 rounds, I believe. So it's 7.62 by 39 ammo. It's basically the only semi-not banned right now, thanks to our indigenous brethren. So the SKS is still lead those. And 25% off. So their link is in the show notes, and I'm sure Eric will put it in the chat momentarily.
It's in the chat. So go buy it while you can. All right, with that, I'll bring episode number 258 of the Canadian Prepper Podcast to an end. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or, of course, your favorite podcast app. I'm pretty sure we're on all of them by now. Please do submit a review wherever you listen. It does encourage the algorithms to promote us, even just temporarily, and then helps people find the show.
And we do record these shows live on YouTube and Facebook. If you want an early peek at the shows, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Canadian Prepper Podcast, and click the notifications tab. That gives you an alert when we are going live. You have any questions for me? If Eric decides to send it along, or he can just throw it in the trash can, you can contact me at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca, or I'm usually on the Discord. I've been a little lax the last probably 4 or 5 days, but I'm there very frequently.
Yeah.
Well, Brad's not here. He was officially on the show.
Not.
We should at least mention him. So if you want to get in touch with Brad,
he abandoned us.
Okay, well, fine. Fuck him. If you want to find me, off the wall customizing, probably on a socialist media of some sort. Discord, I'm there. I don't do much except for probably inappropriate stuff. Or the other CPP, tomorrow night on Mondays, Canadian Patriot Podcast at 9 o'clock on YouTubes, and 9 o'clock is very vague on timing.
And you can reach me in the Annual Preppers Meet Facebook page or at my email, which is just my name, Terry L. Blackmore @hotmail.com.
And you can find me on Facebook and the old LubeTube. And if you have any questions for me or need to get a hold of anybody on the panel or whatnot, it is check the spelling, cruisin165@gmail.com.
What is the name of your YouTube channel again?
The name of my YouTube is Pat in a Bunker, just like it's spelled right in front of me right now. So I do all sorts of different things. So go on over and check it out.
Well, I guess you're going to have a new subscriber here momentarily. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of Ian, you can email to me directly at theislandretreat@gmail.com. Just like Pierre, you can also find me on Canadian Patriot Podcast, which is live on YouTube, recording Monday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, as well as, I believe, still iTunes. I'm on the Discord app for both CPPs now because I'm out of Facebook jail. There you can find us discussing what you're for now. Actually, I just joined the Annual Preppers Meet group too, Terry, just about 3 seconds ago. So,
right on.
You can find us discussing why government waste and general degradation of society has been making very dark resolutions.
All right. Please check out Rapid Survival at rapidsurvival.com. You can get me there on the live chat. You can also email me at feedback@prepperpodcast.ca. So thanks for joining us. Until next time, be prepared.
Hold on.
So you want a link to the Discord, Eric, please, for Justin? Thank you.
Yeah.
Link to the Discord.
Discord is on the chat for YouTubes. You can also get it from show notes somewhere, I'm sure. Someone way more tech savvy will tell me where it is. But the link
for Discord goes on all the episodes that get pushed out.
Yeah, but I don't know where you find any of that stuff. So that's why I said someone way more tech savvy. But it's in the live chat on YouTube. There's a link. Hit it up. You'll get into the Discord for this, at least. So we've got someone that'll hopefully join very soon because we've dragged this on along that they heard.
Sorry. All right. So
carry on.
No problem. So thanks for joining us. Until next time, be prepared, stay safe,
and keep learning.